focus, people. Let's stay focused. Yo, R. Kelly. R. Kelly's in the news again because he allegedly is, I don't know if it's kidnapped. Well, they're saying they're being held against their will. So that's kidnapping. And there's some people who've come out and have spoken against him. Now, this young lady, his name is Jocelyn Savage. This is on World Star. This is one video, and there's another video where her parents are in front of the house with a news crew and another woman who's been involved with them. Let's just hear what Jocelyn has to say. I'm not going to play all of it.
I'm 21. I'm about to be 22 in about 5 days.
She's 21.
And I just mainly want to say that I'm in a happy place with my life, and I'm not being brainwashed or anything like that. You know, it just came to a point where it definitely has got out of hand. Okay. So, I just want everybody to know, my parents and everybody in the world, that I am totally fine. I'm happy where I'm at, and everything is okay with me.
So you are not being held against your will or doing anything that you do not want to do?
Oh, no, not at all. I've never been feeling hostage or anything like that in that nature. Never.
So why is it now that your family's coming forward and saying this, and they've asked for a welfare check and everything like that? Why do you think now?
Welfare check?
I personally, I don't really know what's going on with that, so I wouldn't want to answer that.
A welfare check.
The last time I spoke to my parents may have been about a good
check on her
on
welfare.
And off about a good 6-5 months. I haven't really spoken to them because of everything they've been causing problems in my life, about saying I've been hostage and being held against my will and stuff like that. Because I'm very heartbroken of what's going on with this situation, because it's getting to a point where it's getting too much out of hand. Me having to deal with this and me being 22 is just...
Then why don't you talk to your parents?
Not right. So yeah. I haven't spoken to them mainly in about 5 to 6 months.
That's why they're outside of your door.
On and off. Okay. I mean, they'll, text me from time to time, but I haven't really wanted to speak to them because of what they're doing.
Are you currently in Georgia, or where are you?
I'm not. No, I'm not. I wouldn't want to speak on that as well.
Are you with other roommates? Are you free to go from where you are?
Wait a minute. You don't want to speak on your location. You're not in Georgia. Your people are from Georgia. I think they live in Atlanta. So you don't want to tell your location because you don't want them to come and get you. See, this is where it gets convoluted.
Are you with other roommates? Are you free to go from where you are?
No, I want to speak on that as well.
Okay, so she does all this. I can do what I want, yada yada, and then, are you with other roommates? Are you free to go? No, I don't want to speak on that. No, I don't want to speak on that, or no, I'm not free to go. This whole situation is it's getting kind of, it's confusing, and it's conflicting. Let's listen to what the Savages had to say.
Today, for months in, years in, until he released these girls and put them back where they belong. My daughter was off in college at the time, and I haven't seen her since. I want to thank y'all for coming out, and I'm going to let someone else speak. I'm going to let my wife speak, and then I'm also going to let...
Okay, so to me, it looks like the confusion is because the daughter will not speak to them. I mean, they love their daughter, and truthfully, hey, if you think your daughter is in harm, do a welfare check. I want to check on her welfare. I want the police to get involved. She's with somebody, but you don't know where that person is. Yeah, I'm with you all day. You know what I'm saying? If I'm trying to contact you, I know who you're with, but I don't know where you're at. Okay, now, this is not a child. This is your child, but she's not a child. This is a 22-year-old woman. Okay, so they can pretty much, if they don't want to talk to you, it's not against the law that they don't communicate with you, bro. It's like, I don't feel like talking to my parents anymore, so I'm not going to talk to them. I am, with a dude and a bunch of other women, and this is what we're doing right now. There's no law against that. Now, if she's not free to go, there is definitely a law against that. That is kidnapping 101. Let's listen.
Auntie speak if she want to.
Can you tell us your name first?
My name is Timothy Savage.
Tim, before you leave the microphone, though, can we ask you, it's a pretty serious charge to say that your daughter's being held against her will. How old is she, and what evidence do you have she's being held against her will?
My daughter is, right now, she's 21
21.
at this time. I'm going to ask some questions
She'll be
after
22.
this. So if you can hold your questions, I'm going to ask a couple questions for people. So allow my family and friends to speak and guests to speak so we can have that honor to share and put this out here, okay?
I want to also state that they didn't ask R. Kelly for money. They simply asked to, like, where are you? They're like, where is my child? That's what they want to know. So far, Mr. Savage is speaking, which tells me that they don't have a lawyer. And they're outside of his known house. He has more than one house. So they don't even have a lawyer yet because Mr. Savage is speaking. You know what I mean? So it doesn't look like this is like, I want my money. It's like, I want my child. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm with them on that. I want to communicate with my child. I'm with you 100% on that. I think the news just got involved because they're camped out in front of his house. It's just like, why are you in front of a famous man's house? And they're like, because we know he has our 21, 20, soon to be 22-year-old, but we don't know where they're at. You know what I'm saying? We don't know where he's at. And there's been rumors of him having a bunch of other, women, and we don't know where they're at. So, yeah, I want to check up on the welfare of my child, but nonetheless, this is not a child. If this was a 14, 13, 15-year-old, hell yes. You better believe there would be a lawyer there and there would be police there and they would find R. Kelly like right now, because R. Kelly has been known to go after 15-year-olds, I think, and then he married Aaliyah at 16. So, this would be a whole police issue. But what I'm looking at now, there's no police presence. So this is not even a civil case right now. You know what I'm saying? This is not, I'm sorry, this is not a criminal case. This is not a case at all. It looks just to be a civil matter. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, the police are not even involved. There's not a lawyer involved. Mr. Savage is speaking. Let's listen to more of what he has to say.
Thank you.
I was going to let somebody else speak.
This is my wife, Jonjolyn Savage.
I'm Jonjolyn. It's spelled Jonjelyn. The house that we're standing in front of today is the first time I've been at this location. But through the sources of Cheryl Mack, which was his assistant that gave me information about the guest house. Also, I have pictures of where the house was, inside this house where he resided, where he had rooms set up for like a hotel for the girls to stay in. And he also had a black room where they do different acts, sexual acts in. And then he had the separate rooms, 3 separate rooms, total 4 rooms in his house, which they have the all identical like set up.
Okay, let's be clear. Hugh Hefner has the same setup. And the girls are the same age. Heck, they're probably younger than that. They're probably 18 and up. Okay, so Hugh Hefner has all kind of rooms that you can go and, screw all day. Butt naked women run around all day, and they're like, and people are giving their 18-year-olds to Hugh, like, here, because Hugh's he'll make them famous. The young girl Jocelyn was promised college. Is he going to make good on that promise? It's just so much here. Let's listen to some more, because I'm thoroughly confused on what the crime is.
My daughter's severely brainwashed. She's brainwashed to the point where she says anything that he asks her to say. She's not the same Jocelyn that we knew when we met. I've reached out to Diane Copeland and Alicia Evans, which are the madams as watches over the girls, and they would not give me any information about my daughter. So we just
Okay. Now, she said that these other women are madams that watch over the girl, insinuating that the girls are being used for prostitution. Now this is a crime. So let's listen to some more.
to release her and let her go on with her life because he's affected too many young girls over the years. And I just wanted her home and to try to get her rehabilitated to the Jocelyn that we know and miss.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please give us your name, please.
My name is Asante McGee, Asante. I had an encounter with R. Kelly,
Got it.
and I lived with him at another location that's not far from here. I've participated and witnessed a lot of acts that I did not agree with, and the way he manipulates each and every woman that comes around.
Didn't agree with.
I'm blessed to have a strong will mind, and the things that I've witnessed. I have a 17-year-old daughter myself, and I always thought this to be my daughter.
Okay, so this doesn't seem like this woman was involved with. Let's listen to some more before I make this comment.
Reading the blogs, everybody's saying that, oh, we're lying. R. Kelly's not this monster. He's not that person. I've always been a fan of R. Kelly from day one. I was always defending him until I got behind closed doors. I've reached out to the Savages as well as Isabel Clary parents because I saw both of their daughters and I did not like what I was seeing. Again, I felt like if this was my daughter doing this, I want somebody to come out to me and help me. So I've been with them and just giving them as much information that I've seen, just living in the house with them. And it just took a whole bunch of encounters that finally I got the willpower to just walk away.
Okay.
So I've been gone since last summer, but I've stayed in contact with them after I left and gave them as much updates that I could give them as far as the conditions that's treated, where you have to ask to be, take a bath, permission to shower, to eat, permission to go from one room to the next. He really manipulates your mind because of who he is and his fame. So if it wasn't because of his fame and you're happy because you're with R. Kelly, he wouldn't get away with doing the things they want. So as far as these girls, I feel like they've been in so long that they will need help because of the things that he puts in your.
Okay, let's dial it back here, honey. You have a 17-year-old daughter, which you knew R. Kelly for 3 years. Okay. So it would be fair to say that you were not a child when you knew R. Kelly. It would be fair to say that you were a full-grown adult when you were involved with R. Kelly. Your child was already born, who's not R. Kelly's kid. So you were a grown woman. And then you said you have a strong family and a will mind to get up and leave, which means you were not a captive, a physical captive. You might have been a mental captive, but you were not a physical captive. He did not hold you against your will because according to what you're saying, when you wanted to, you left. You know? He told you when to take a shower, when to go from one room to another, and you did that until you were like, I don't want to do this anymore. You decided that you did not want to do this anymore. Now you're coming out and saying that R. Kelly is some type of monster. Listen, there are worse people in the world than R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you was in there doing all kind of sex acts with or R. Kelly or with other people, it is clear that you were not a child who was in, you were not a child, you were an adult. Okay, so we can skip that out. It was clear that you were not kidnapped, you weren't taken against your will. Okay, so you weren't taken against your will. That's clear. So you were an adult who wasn't taken against their will. So there's no form of kidnapping there. And when you were there, you listened to what he said until you felt like leaving. So I still don't see what the crime is. You have no marks on your body. He did not beat you up. You didn't make alleged claims of him sexually abusing you. So there's no crime there. There's no physical crime. Listen, I am not an R. Kelly fan. But according to the law, there just doesn't seem to be anything that R. Kelly has done. Now, I'm sure if you go digging, you might pop up with something. But what these people are saying, there's just nothing there. Yeah, some people might flame me for this, but remember the Duke incident? Remember when them white dudes allegedly raped the stripper who came there? Two strippers came there in the Duke incident. The stripper was a black girl. Came there half dressed. She came there to strip, and she said 3 boys raped her in the bathroom. So she got drunk. She came there to strip. The boys got upset because she stayed for 15 minutes, took their $300, and tried to leave. And she was drunk, half off her ass. She was laid out in the bathroom. And she said while she was in the bathroom, these 3 boys took advantage of her. Everybody wanted to hang those 3 boys. But when I looked at that, I was just like, something's not right here. Now, it ain't like it doesn't happen. And it ain't because, okay, she's a stripper, so she expects to get sexually, whatever. I was just saying we need to look at the whole thing before we just look at there's 3 guys and there's 1 woman and boom, this is what happened. I did not make a judgment on that for a minute. I'm just like, something's not right here. And then they found out that it was impossible for what they said to happen for it to actually happen. So she was lying the whole time. Now, I'm not saying that these people are lying. I'm saying that we shouldn't be so quick to jump to conclusion. And I can't stand R. Kelly. I don't like nothing about him. I don't listen to his music. I don't support him. No, nothing. Not whatsoever. But when it comes to situations like this, I don't let my feelings get involved. I look at the evidence. That's just all there's to it. And there is no evidence to support that these 21, 22-year-old women are in a bad situation. Now, to me, I think if you're doing a welfare check on someone, I think that you should get the police involved. That's still your child. I'm 100% for that. I want to know where my 21-year-old is. I know she's a grown woman. But that could be infringing upon somebody's privacy. They don't want to be found. It's like, I don't want you to find me. So it gets, the waters get murky there because it's like, this is a grown woman. She don't want you to find her. She don't have to. There's no law that says she has to let you find her, even though you're the parent. You can just be a concerned parent. If she doesn't want to talk to you, there's not a thing that could happen. However, if you think there's mischief involved and you haven't heard from her, then you file a missing persons case. And the police get involved. It's a missing person case. However, the daughter has come out and said, I'm not missing. I'm on TMZ. I'm Skyping TMZ right now. I'm not missing. I just don't want to tell y'all where I'm at. I don't want to tell you what's going on in the house. But I'm not missing. I'm fine. There's no marks. I'm not crying. I'm not in distress. So it just gets very scary. This is murky water right here. It's 100% murky. And these reporters have reminded the Savages that there is nothing yet said that makes a criminal case. Let's listen some more to Mr. Savage.
Other questions. Some of these questions will be answered at a later date.
When?
We will give another interview. I
Why?
will answer a couple questions if you have questions. So I want to take your question first. What question do you have, and what would you like for me to answer?
You already answered how old your daughter is. She's 21, so she is of age.
Okay.
Again, the charge you make is that she's being held against her will. What
a
evidence
serious
of
charge.
that do you have, other than perhaps some of the conversations you've had where she sounded the law?
Well, if you have cultured and looked at where it's Stockholm Syndrome, that's what my daughter has right now.
All right. Stockholm Syndrome is basically where you admire your captors. You're enslaved. You've been taken by force, but you've been there so long that you're actually admiring the person who captured you and who has held you in slavery all this time. once again, there's no crime here. You know what I'm saying? Listen, there are women and men who are with people that are not the best choice for their livelihood, for their life, period. But try and separate them and see what battle you have. There was just a video on World Star where this guy beat this girl up in the store, and it was his girlfriend. I mean, he beat her up so bad, he like fractured her jaw, he broke her rib, he beat the mess out of this woman. And when they went to, and when they of course they got him, they put him in prison for 9 years. But when they asked her to testify in jail, she was like, that's not him. She was like, I don't know who that is. They were like, did he beat, like, no, he didn't. It's on videotape, they were in the store. It's like, nope, he never hit me. I have no idea what you're talking about. She emphatically denied that that man ever put a hand on her, and she knew it was in the store. She knew there were cameras there. She did not fight back whatsoever, and he beat her for like 10 minutes, just beating her and put her in the hospital, and she was like, he did not do it. This happens all the time. I've seen a man in a mall just slap the hell out of a woman. She was in the mall walking with him. She said something to him he didn't like. I don't even think she said anything, because when I was looking at him, he was already upset about something. He was, walking around like he was upset, and then he just turned to her and just was like, psh, and then he just kept walking around like he was upset, like he never did anything. She just froze, and she put her hand over her face, and then she started walking with him. He was with 2 other dudes, too. In the mall. She could have turned around and been like, help! Ah, he just hit me. She didn't cry. She just went like this, and she kept walking with him. And there's a good chance that he been beating on her. You think she's going to go anywhere? I don't see what a crime is here. But I understand the concern for your child. 100%. I'm going to listen to a little bit more.
And so those are the things that's going to come to play. We're going to share all these things at a later date. Can I have another question?
You're making some pretty serious accusations, though, and it doesn't appear that you have strong evidence to back them up. What evidence do you have?
That evidence is going to appear within the next 2 to 3 days.
Okay, well then we're just going to have to wait for the next 2 to 3 days to finish this video, because right now, Mr. Savage, I feel for you. I understand you want to see your loved one, and your heart is broken because your loved one doesn't want to see you. But right now, you don't have any criminal evidence, or you would, for one, you would not withhold your evidence. You'd be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? 2, if it was that type of situation, you would have hired a lawyer, because you're standing there with a suit and tie, dressed up, glasses, with an earpiece in, clean shaven. It's a good chance you got a couple dollars, and you could at least retain an attorney. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a lot of money, but I got enough to retain an attorney. And your attorney, you could pay him a couple $100. He'd have came out and spoke for you. Just so R. Kelly would be like, oh, snap, they got an attorney. You know what I'm saying? There's no attorney here whatsoever. There's no police presence, so you haven't gone to the cops, the FBI, because the FBI gets involved when there's a situation where girls or women who are, for sex trafficking or any of that, for sexual crimes, period. There's a whole nation that gets involved for a sexual crime, whether it's men or women, but most of them are focused towards women. But you will get the just thunder will come down on you if they just thought that this was a sexual crime against, some female. It would be all over for R. Kelly. They would raid his house right now if he had a bunch of girls in there, just, this is one reason why I think David Koresh's house was burned down, because they said he was having sex with a bunch of young girls. They went in and burned his place down and killed David Koresh right now. Okay? So this doesn't seem to be the case, Mr. Savage. It seems like your daughter got caught up in the fame just like this other young lady. And that's what happens. That's why you don't idolize anyone. You don't have your kids idolize anyone. It's good to see famous people. Yeah, it's cool. You know, they do what they do. Fine. But when you idolize someone, when you're a fan, when you're a fanatic about this individual, that's when you're going into spiritual, dangerous territories. And that spirit will lead you into situations that are no good for you, your family, your soul, your well-being. And there are people who are just dead and gone just simply because of fandom. Fanatics. So, yeah. I hope this all comes to fruition. If R. Kelly has committed a crime, I hope they get him and it sticks. But if he isn't in those, listen. They mentioned 2 girls that are there. And I'm going to end this video. Here's the thing. There are more than 2 girls there. And here's the other thing. They know R. Kelly's history. But here's the worst thing about it. Those 2 girls are going to be replaced by 2 more girls as soon as he leaves. There are 2 more women. Women, not girls. Females, women, grown women, 21 and 22. This young lady is 22 also. These girls are older females. And as soon as these young ladies leave, there's going to be 2, 3 more to follow right back into his door. They're waiting for these young ladies to leave. They're standing in line like, please leave, because he offered you college. I'll take that. What's he going to do? Tell me not to go from one room to another? Is he beating you? No. He's going to get me college? There are people waiting in line. You'll have some strippers knocking at R. Kelly's door 24/7 right now. It's your boy Tone 202. Listen, God loves you, man. Focus on him.